collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless soulmate contract read. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons. Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, the Archangel of Lyons. Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal, and I am Venus. Venus in Libra is my Venus sign. Been trying to keep myself out of the readings, but you know, once you hit a certain level of seeing the unity of all things, it's kind of hard. Wouldn't it be funny if every reader who reads is like totally reading themselves along with everybody else, right? Well, denial more than a river in Egypt. Anyway, so let's get up in this gig. We're doing a 19 card spread. My guides downloaded it. But, you know, I did a video before I put these out, a preface to these readings. It's the very first thing in the description box. Because my definition of soulmate and twin flame apparently are radically different from everybody else on planet Earth, except for Matt Kahn, spiritual teacher. We're going to use his healing mantra deck. His video is in the description box as well. Soul contracts, twin flames and soulmates redefined was such a breath of fresh air. And it's very much a fifth dimensional unity consciousness definition instead of that old third and fourth stuff, which is driving people crazy. And I see people really suffering over this whole like twin flame thing. But suffice to say, you can go watch the videos. There's a bunch of them down there with the new definition explored in different ways. A bunch by me, one by Matt, because he only put out one. I really wish he would update that or do another one, whatever. But essentially the foundation of a soulmate contract is you help each other heal through the quantum entanglement of a soulmate contract. In other words, you don't even need to know each other. And you have thousands of soulmates. They're the ones that help you help each other heal. My mom and I are a soulmate contract. My father and I were twin flames. Whole of the story, blah, blah, blah. Go watch the videos if you want to go deeper. And that doesn't mean you can't, like, you know, take information from other readers. Just pop in the lens as recommended, at least in the 13 minute video I did the other day. All right, enough. Let's do this. Rather than having to figure out who is who, although it may flip-flop, I'm putting the Libra over here, the soulmate partner over here, yeah, and we are doing the romantic soulmate partners, because those are the ones that we've been working on lifetime after lifetime with them, to finally get to a place where we're both free enough to really be together and anchor true love on the planet, that and through the quantum entanglement of unity consciousness help all of life on Earth and probably beyond. Lyrian starseed, anyone? Anyway, so enough explanation except to say all the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. I'm a Virgo. I do give good description box. I always have, even before description box existed. I give good description box. And both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace. And let's see if I'm in this one. I give up. It's like whatever they want me to see, I see anyways. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, daughters of the moon. We're going to start with the Carolyn Mace archetype deck to get the 8th chakra, right? The soul center, the star center, the overlighting archetype of power, influencing every other chakra underneath it. Let's do this. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of soulmate contract law, and the higher selves of all involved. 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above only, please. I need 3 cards for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. Timeless whenever they are watching it, but we're going to put the Libra on this side, understanding that they might bop back and forth. They're going to have to figure that part out. So what's the 8th chakra stuff for the Libras in this soulmate contract? How about their romantic partner, known or unknown, together or apart? And please, the dominant 8th chakra dynamic for both of them, the state of the contract. Now, these 3 cards, before I look at them even, are already in the title, so I like to see how brave you are for watching this, because people will see the name of an archetype, and if it's like, for instance, the vampire archetype, like if this is the vampire archetype, I'll scream. But, you know, as toxic as it sounds in the shadow is as bright as it is in the light as it heals, right? And vice versa. Something that sounds really, really wonderful in the light is just wicked toxic in the shadow. So here we go. Okay, good. Well, still jinkies. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, you got The Exorcist. Beware pea soup. I don't know what to tell you. Just getting too many visual flashbacks. I saw that movie way too young. Did make me a mystic, though. Made me learn how to pray. Your soulmate partner here is the artist. Now, this is Divine Family Archetype, also called the shaman, by the way. You know, technically I was trained in shamanic techniques, but I won't claim that word. That's cultural appropriation, misappropriation. I forget which the right word is there. Please don't cancel me, right? I'm a witch. That's fine. That's good enough. Nobody wants to claim that unless they are, right? So Divine Family Archetype, Creative Family Archetype, and the state of the contract is the Engineer, which is also a creative family archetype. Now, artist, we'll get there, but no, it's not all K-N-O-W. No, it's not all about performing or visionary or visual arts, right? It's like, it could be culinary arts. It can just be how you present yourself, but we'll get there. Let's talk about The Exorcist, shall we? The Linda Blair Witch Project. The shadow attribute, fear of facing your own demons, and who like willingly walks into that. But look, the amount of shadow work that it's been taking just to get through this past year and 6 months, let alone this lifetime, right? With psychology and, you know, the explosion of mysticism and spirituality, which is historically marked by certain things. Vatican II, the Dalai Lama being exiled from Tibet, right? It's just this diaspora and release of all this mystical information. Like the Catholic masses used to all be in Latin. After Vatican II, they were put in English, right? So, you know, we're all being hit by all this mystical energy, but mysticism involves mystery, which we don't like unless it's Agatha Christie-ish. I just made a new word. But the light attribute, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. And who doesn't have destructive impulses? Oh, there are plenty of times I want to burn down the village, but I don't. I go in and do the shadow work. In the words of Matt Kahn, whatever arises, love that, right? I put myself in the Castle of the Soul, the work of Carolyn Mace, The Interior Castle. I love her. Based on her experience of the work of St. Teresa of Avila, The Interior Castle. So I will go into my castle and call upon the grace of fortitude, which is in her books, but also in my book, Words of Grace. $9.99 on Kindle. Go check it out. Less than a pack of cigarettes and give you way more bang for your buck. Of course, depending on what pack of cigarettes you're smoking or what you're smoking, right? So to go in and give yourself that love, to embrace the shadow, it feels like this is what this is about. Now, we just had full moon, at least at the time of this recording, right? Getting ready for the new moon in Cancer, right? It was in full moon in Capricorn, new moon in Cancer. So perfect time, if you are watching this as it is coming out or the week when you are coming out, to really go in and free yourself from those destructive impulses, because as you heal this, you are helping them heal, and vice versa, even if you don't know who this is or you haven't met yet. Because the artist archetype in its shadow, using talent as an excuse to mistreat others. And honey, I am an artist. And yeah, when I was younger, I did that. You have to experience the lead, right? To clear it, we don't want to look at it. The shadow's what we don't want to look at. Or if we know about it, we don't want anybody to know about it, right? Posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. I don't do that. First of all, I'm not starving. Second of all, I don't front like that. I don't manipulate people in that way. I give my very best and my very blessed every day. But the light attribute, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And honestly, tarot and divination is not my only art, but it is my sacred art. I am a dancer. I was classically trained, went to the Boston Conservatory for 1.5 years, and then my mystical awakening happened and I was done with show business. Never really went back. Every time I've ever tried to dance with show business, it's like I'm a visiting dignitary from another land. A queen, apparently. State of the contract, the engineer. Now this is about strategies. However, in the shadow, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequence. So, you know, maybe there was a mechanistic solution. Well, this is what we do. This is how I was raised. And without care or concern about how the other person, or maybe how even they were really feeling, either side. This is both of you, by the way. The light attribute, ability to give creative energy a practical expression. So it's not all up here. It comes down into practical physical form. Boom. Talent for designing resolution to common dilemmas. And I feel like whatever dilemma went here between the two of you, because just because it's a soulmate contract doesn't mean there aren't bumps in the road and wrinkles that need to be ironed out. We must suffer to learn. It really, even the Course in Miracles says we could learn through joy. We just don't, right? So then what's left? We learn through suffering and through pain. And certainly if you identify with this shaman, this exorcist card, right? Then this is about your own alchemy, your own healing, your own shadow work here, which I think is going to reveal some creative solutions for you here. Because when you have a creative archetype in the state of the contract, it means that there is new stuff being created, but what in the garden needs to be weeded. By the way, that's another form of my art. I love gardening. Not so much farming, but gardening. My garden is my sanctuary, right? So what is that? Creativity. So I could really relate to either one of these, but let's just keep going. We'll do Daughters of the Moon Tarot. We've got the 8th chakra aspect for you, them, and I guess us, right? The both of you. This will be heart, throat, third eye, crown, the interior world, the personal level of power, right? Creative intuition, I think, would be highlighted here. So please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my goddesses of Libra and the element of air, Aphrodite, sweet and flighty, who runs around in a see-through nightie. Please, I love you. She was my matron for a year from Yule to Yule, and what a wild year it was. Woo, definitely before the endemic pay went down. So please, can we get heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic for this Libra collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, satisfying, symbiotic, sympathetic, soulmate contract, please, for the exorcist, for the artist, and for the engineer. Okay, I'm wicked clairaudient. I didn't even catch on to that until I was a teenager, and I went to therapy. She said, no, you're just intuitively skilled. I had a brilliant therapist. Graduated from Columbia in New York. So just what made me laugh here, it really is the love that the two of you have here is really strong, but it's how you bring it into form that's tricky. So let's look at an exorcist, an artist, and an engineer walk into a soulmate contract. Yep. Okay, right on the money. Okay, so if you identify as the exorcist in this one, Linda Blair Witch Project, that's really funny. That's like a Jeopardy jumble, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune jumble. You got the Dreamer, the Fool card in the Daughters of the Moon, right? She's not jumping off a cliff, but she's tracing patterns in the river bend. I know, a little Pocahontas lyric there for you. Right? Tracing her dreams, like casting, but emotionally so, right? The element of water is featured here in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. Not a lot of water going on in this. So this is very much the dreamer. This is very much, and it would make sense, freeing yourself from, or others, of destructive impulses so that your creativity, your dreams can come true. And believe me, I hate that language, right? Disney did more codependent damage than any other person in our lives. Oh, Michael Eisner. I know he's not the president anymore, but that's when all that codependent stuff really hit. Then all the princesses became warriors, right? Rock and roll. The artist here has the Bastet card. The 6 of Flames in this deck is called Play. I know 6 of Wands is a card of victory. That can be in there too, except in this deck, the 7 of Flames is victory. Literally says it on the card. I do not get a bad vibe. I don't get this entitled kakafufu energy right around this artist. I really feel like they really love you. They want to have a good time with you. And how could you two not know each other? And if you don't, that's okay. It means that their energy is rather balanced inside, having a good time being creative. That was lovely. Now, this card in traditional tarot freaks people out all the time, and it's different in this deck. To borrow temporarily from a Southern Strega who I adore. I love her. Scorched Earth Tarot, the bunch that I really, really love watching. I'm an art reader. I'm an artist, right? The Ten of Flames here with the Engineer. This is the Hora. If you've ever been to a Jewish bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, like there's any other kind, or a Jewish wedding, or if you've ever seen Fiddler on the Roof, stage or screen, you know what the Hora is. It is a circle dance of completion. It's like a graduation. So yeah, there is the ending of a cycle here, but it is one that is to be celebrated. This could be what stood in the way for the two of you is resolving. You may not see that, but that is what you are both going through. So interesting. We've got a completion here and a jumping off here for the Exorcist. Doing the shadow work, I think, is the only way that's going to happen. And for the artist on this side, there's a real culmination of the creativity. I feel like this artist is trying to engineer a way for the two of you to get together. Just a sense of it. But let's see what's going on the outside. Mythic Tarot will be the root, sacrum, solar plexus dynamic, the physical, literal world, either, you know, from the outside looking in or from the inside looking out at some aspect of the physical world. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my gods of air in the sign of Libra, Eros, son of Aphrodite, please leave the cards in my hand one at a time. 3, please, for this Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What's going on in the physical here, from the outside looking in or from the inside looking out at some aspect of the physical? We've got this Exorcist in the 8th, and the Fool on the inner. We've got this artist in the 8th chakra with play on the inner and state of the contract. The Engineer archetype, practical solutions, but it took a lot of work to get here, but this is to be celebrated. What does this look like on the outside, please? Let's have a look-see-dooksy. By the way, Chelsea Handler and I have some things in common astrologically. Her Pisces moon is the exact same degree as, her Pisces sun is the exact same degree as my Pisces moon. Ah, here's the moon card. Well, so I don't know if she has any planets in Libra, but her and our senses of humor are incredibly similar. She speaks what I feel. If anybody knows her, just tell her I say hi. I don't need to meet her. Don't meet your heroes. Not a good idea. It's never gone well for me. But I would love to have a drink with her. Or maybe something else. The Exorcist in the 8th, right? The Fool, the Dreamer, and the Moon. So right now things are a bit cloudy. You're not really sure how to move forward, but hey, this is a mystical power. Mysticism is about mystery. As I said earlier, I'm a mystic since I came out the womb, apparently. So, you know, you might not have any idea. Now, this is Hecate, though, one of my goddesses since birth. The Crone, certainly, but also the Keeper of the Crossroads, Queen of the Crossroads, I call her, with 3 faces. The Crossroads back then, there weren't 4, there were 3, right? That's why the 3 faces, with little 3-headed woo-woo doggy Cerberus there. And definitely all phases of the moon in one here. So yeah, you're gonna have to, you got 2 major arcana cards. You want to jump on the inside, but in the outside things are unclear. So this might very well be a perfect time to go in and do some interior house cleaning, right? About what your fears are. Because faith is something everybody has. It's an aspect of consciousness. It's just like an account. Where do you spend it? Do you spend your faith in fear or in love, right? And who puts it in love all the time. Otherwise, it's not very much of a journey. Now, our souls do that automatically. The soul is the truths of who we are, the divine, eternal part of us who knows that we are one. That was chosen to play a role with a personality, unraveling the ego as we go, right? The alchemy from lead to gold. Life is a mystery, and yes, everyone must stand alone every now and again. Just Madonna'd us. I love that song, Like a Prayer. I remember it was such a scandal when that video came out in the 80s. People's hair went on fire. Now it's like a romper room. So yeah, I get the mystery there. We'll come back to that because they've got the King of Pentacles here. An artist, right? With this playfulness. Now, this is either them looking at you or it's how they are presenting from the outside looking in. This is somebody, King of Pentacles, Cardinal Earth, creative Earth. This is someone who, if they have not succeeded in their art, and remember, art and business, like entrepreneurship is an art form, right? Being an entrepreneur, building a business, creative energy. So really take it out of the performing arts or the visual arts, right? Because it covers a lot, but it's not everything. This person really is in the process of playfully creating a solid foundation in their life. To me, Capricorn, the mountain goat, if you think of the mountain, cardinal earth, it doesn't move like mutable earth, sand, but it's not quite fixed either, like bedrock, Taurus. Virgo is mutable, Taurus is fixed. This is creative. How much life lives not just on the mountain that is obvious, that you can see, the trees, the goats, the whatever, the birds, but what is being created inside the mountain that we don't see? The Mines of Moria. little Tolkien flashback for all of us there. No, I love this. This person feels stable, and if they are seeing you this way, I'm not really getting that, but just know there's going to be some forward moment here and a lot of horns. Why do I say that? Because the state of the contract. Engineer in the 8th, Hora Havanagila. Some breakthrough, right? Some desire has come to a culmination to begin again with what? The King of Wands, the Aries card, the first sign of the zodiac. Now, I don't go in for that, oh, it's an Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. It's about first house dynamic for me. That's how I read court cards. It really is saying there's a new beginning for this, that there is a new creative energy. And so, of course, as things are completing inside of both of you, maybe you guys had some stuff you needed to clear up in your personal lives so that you could be together, right? With that engineer trying to figure out creative strategies, how to make this happen. Let me read that again. Ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So get that whatever the dilemma was here, this is minor arcana and court card. Wasn't great. Well, it might have felt great, big, huge. But what you've both had to go through to get to this stage, you need to give yourselves a little bit of a pat on the back individually. Because it feels like you've hit graduation. And with that Aries energy, I'm not going to say it's the same as the Ace of Wands. But this Aries energy, the King of Wands, cardinal fire. Here we've got cardinal earth, creative fire, creative earth. So maybe the leap has not been made yet at the time of this recording. Otherwise, why would you be watching this reading? They would have reached out. You would have been communicating. But that's what I'm not seeing here is communication. So let's keep going. We got 9 cards on the table. Let's get 3 whispers of love, the voices of the higher selves, and this is the party turner. This is where all of a sudden we go, whoa, our hair gets blown back. I did my hair for you this morning because it's 80 degrees in Holbrook today. I have the air conditioning off because the vent is like literally right over here and you can't hear me on camera. So I decided to go for the wet look. Anything for my Libras. Please take a nice deep breath. And never take yourself too seriously. The gods certainly don't. As I call upon the higher selves of all, perhaps my own included, I can relate to some of what's going on here. And I know with that moon card on the outside, if this is who I think it is on this side, this artist, We had so much fun together, whatever, but, you know, he's probably focusing on work, blah, 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 blah. So, please, what is the information, inspiration, or insight most needed in the whispers of love from the higher selves of all involved? Not just one of them, maybe not just two of them, but anybody else who's involved here in this Libra collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign watching, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, like the romantic sexual part. Like, I'm getting the sexual here, particularly with that Aries and that fire in that center lane. It's like you both want each other, but you really needed your own internal completion before this could move forward, whatever that may mean. So please, one for the Libra on this side, Exorcist in the 8th, Fool on the inner, Moon on the outer. We'll do these face down. The artist, soulmate, contract partner here, right? The artist in the 8th, 6 of Flames, Bastet, kitty cat energy, flame energy, the 6 of Flames, play with the King of Pentacles there, that Capricorn vibe, 10th house, highest potential. It's like if this is them from the outside looking in, they are really climbing that mountain. Very stable. They may not have been before, like in their work life, in their bodies. They might not have felt comfortable in their bodies. Feel like they do now. Please, what's the whisper of love for them? And state of the contract itself has the engineer in the 8th, 10 of Flames, Hava Nagila, celebration in that sense of a desire completed, but it was worked for with this King of Wands. Really about the self, about the ego, about the personality, about self-starting and initiation here. It feels like you've both become very independent, so that now maybe you can become interdependent rather than codependent. What is the whisper of love for them? Thank you very much. Exorcist, Dreamer, Fool, Moon. Look at your pattern in relationships. It takes inner strength to recognize what you need to change or to modify your behavior. This is shadow work. This is going back into your family dynamics. Now look, you can do that spiritually. There are probably 10 billion meditations on YouTube for free that you could watch on shadow work, meditations, blah, 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 blah. But also there is a need for therapy sometimes. There's something about paying someone, and now you can do it on your phone, right? There's something about literally an exchange of money or insurance or whatever to have someone give you their unbiased clinical opinion. Not maybe that they're always accurate and right, depends on the therapist. I had a genius therapist back in the early 2000s, right after the towers got hit, big time. Like, my life got hit with a tower, and it was very, very, very powerful. So, you know, look at your patterns in relationships. Is the chaser runaway a dynamic one? Is it ever not, right? But I don't know that that's what went on here. But let's see. For your soulmate contract partner, we got the artist with Bastet, 6 of Flames, which can be victory, certainly, with that 10 of Flames in the state of the contract. But something more stable here than I think they've ever been at before. Spend some quality time together. This is what they want. This is what the higher selves want. It's like, well, you just spend some time together, right? It is important that we spend quality time with those we are in significant relationship with, listening and talking to each other. It feels like they have the foundation to do this. I don't know that they had before. But they want it. And that doesn't mean it can't be playful. It's not just all sitting there going, and yes, I was born on a cold, wintry night in June. How does that happen? Okay, it depends on where you live, I guess. Yeah, right. Low beyond the equator. State of the contract, engineer in the 8th. Hava Nagila, 10 of Flames, the Hora in Heart, Third Eye Crown. King of Wands here. I'm just really getting the impetus to move this forward from both of you. Take a chance on love. When we start to love, our lives are changed forever. And I think that was probably why the trigger was not pulled until it's ready to be, because it would have really changed your whole lives. Now, if you are really doing your spiritual work, and if you're identifying on this side, then you're probably used to not seeing so clearly in the outside world, but your soul is telling you to take this jump. But in the meantime, look at your patterns in relationships. Honestly, you know, I like to know, like, who should bust the next move, right? It should be symbiotic, right? One of you takes a step and then the other one takes a step, one initiates and the other initiates. That's just fair, right? But I gotta say, spend some quality time together and take a chance on love. It feels like the artist has to bust a move on this one. They've got the playful energy and they've got the stability. Okay, Steve's Love Tarot, he cracks me up. Somehow he's an Italian from Florida with a southern accent. I would love to know what he looks like. Cracks me up. His take on some things I don't agree with, not so much in the tarot, but he said that if you're hearing voices, you need to get a CAT scan because you have a tumor. I was like, bitch, I was born clairaudient, man. I don't know. Seems a little disrespectful of the divine feminine process in general, but whatever. To each their own. I love him. I think he's great. I forgive. I'm a tree. I can bend. Like you, Bette Midler. So that thing of the King of Pentacles, he says it's like the catch. This guy's a catch. This girl's like this person, them, they are a catch. But I don't think they always were. I think that they have become that as a result of whatever has gone on before this contract. And again, if you don't know each other, this should be someone stable and easy to spot on the outer for you. But if you're not seeing clearly, because you need to look at your patterns in relationships, right? Something to look at. When do we always see so clearly? I mean, clairvoyant. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, empath, the clairs are all in me apparently. Who nails it 24/7, 365? No one. Well, except maybe the Dalai Lama. He is the Dalai Lama. But I don't know, whatever. I just think he's so sweet. I want somebody like the Dalai Lama, but hot. Right? I think that's the only thing that would work. But I'll take a stable artist. That's not a contradiction in terms. So let's move along. Let's get you those Matt Kahn healing mantras. And the beauty of these is they're holographic. What I mean is that if you, whoever you are in this, right, crotch watcher, thank you, Molly of Real Housewives. She's another one I watch who just cracks me up because she's accurate, but she's funny. You can do all three of these, even if it's for them, right? And I'll show you how to put them together. It's kind of cool. Please take a nice deep breath. Exposition galore here at Drawing the Circles YouTube channel, please. The Ascended Masters of Soulmate Contract Law. They're helping each other heal here, known or unknown. So what are the healing mantras that would be most helpful to this Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, fiery soulmate contract going on here. Timeless whenever they're supposed to watch it, right? So we've got the Exorcist here, Fool on the inner, Moon on the outer, looking at their pattern in relationships. There's their mantra. We've got the Artist over here in the 8th, play best at 6 of Flames on the inner, King of Pentacles on the outer, wanting very much to spend quality time together. What's their mantra? And for state of the contract, we've got the Engineer archetype in the 8th, 10 of Flames, the Hora Hava Nagila on the inner, King of Wands, Aries on the outer, and Take a Chance on Love, which is almost an ABBA lyric, and one of my favorite songs, too, of ABBA, although Waterloo is pretty much up there, and I'm a dancing queen. Young and sweet, not exactly 17. What is their perfect healing mantra for this contract itself? My beloved Ascended Masters, and if I can make them laugh, it's a good day. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just going to read you the titles, and then I'll give you the mantras. The Exorcist here, illuminating the truth. I'm willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. This is my clairvoyant mantra, right? Because I'm willing to see things clearly. Clear seeing, clairvoyant, it's French. No matter the outcome, right? So to literally look at your patterns and see clearly, no matter the outcome. Now, why people avoid that is because they've abdicated power to past relationships and they didn't see their role in it, right? Easy to play victim, right? Easy to feel sabotaged and victimized. But to look at your patterns in relationships doesn't mean necessarily that you did it wrong. It's looking at it and saying, this was written into this life before I ever incarnated, right? This was a setup. It's like a video game, right? No matter how well you can play a video game, you can't do something that's not programmed in the game, right? It's like you can't make your character suddenly sprout wings if that's not in the program. Like, Pac-Man didn't have that version when I was a kid. They might now. I don't fucking know. I'm too busy for games. I play Elvenar, though. Of course I do. It's a Virgo game, if ever there was one. Receiving elation. Receiving elation. I am worthy of all the pleasure my heart desires. Don't even need to read that mantra. I know it so well. Oh, no, sorry. Receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy. Allowing ecstasy is the one I am born of infinite joy, receiving elation. Yeah, they have found their joy independent of anything, right? Through their own creative process and building whatever this Capricorn stability is, creative stability, receiving elation, right? So illuminating the truth, receiving elation, and what do you got here in the center? Liberating love. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. This is about giving yourself the love that you want for them, and as you do that, you heal. You are liberated. Now, there are times when shadow work happens, when something, whatever arises, love that. It's Matt Kahn's first book. It's really good. Oh, and he's doing Project Resolution today. It's a free thing on his website, audiocast. Really, really cool. I gotta check that out today. You can always watch it back in replay. MattCahn.org. I don't know him. I mean, I don't know him. He doesn't know me at all, I would think. But highly recommend Carolyn Mace and Matt Kahn. Like, at least those are the two that are really helping me with everything right now. True spiritual teachers know that they don't know everything. Just saying. Teach by example. Teach your children well. Their parents' hell will slowly go by. Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Is that and Young too? Forever Young. So if you put these three mantras together, the titles, illuminating the truth, liberating love, and receiving elation, then work this mantra. I'm willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. I allow myself to receive all the fulfillment I'm willing to give. I am born of infinite joy. Because we are born of infinite joy. It's not like just them. We are the love of the divine made manifest. The divine got lonely, extended its love, and created what's called the child of, well, I call it the child of the divine. Course in Miracles calls it the Son of God. Little gendery, but it was, after all, transcribed in the 70s. So, I read Course in Miracles and change the gender all the time. Hits me differently, opens my heart. Illuminating the truth, receiving elation, and receiving elation. They're born of infinite joy. I feel like they got their happy back. And independent of you, which is good, which means that there's not a codependent thing. In other words, they found their own worth here. They found their own joy. They found their own play. They found their own creativity, and they're finding their way to you. I do feel like they are the one that needs to bust the move, though, because I don't recommend jumping off a cliff at moonlight. Words of wisdom, whatever. Let's keep going. The Lover's Oracle, which are the pantheons of love. Like, so all the lovers of all the angels, archangels, and all that. Please take a nice deep breath. Tony Carmine Salerno, cranking out another oracle. Blessed be, please, my pantheons of all, pantheons of lovers of all pantheons. Does that make sense, right? My pantheons of lovers of all cultures and traditions. Here we go. Please, 3 cards in clarity. What are the oracular messages for this Libra collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for this one over here with the Exorcist in the 8th chakra, this one over here for the Artist in the 8th chakra, and the state of the contract with that creative engineer archetype, bringing the two of them together, but maybe not just right away. Let's see. Again, Exorcist, Fool on the inner, Moon on the outer. Look at your patterns in relationships and be willing to see things clearly no matter the outcome. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. So look, that is very soulmate. It's like, it's not a soulmate doesn't mean you're never going to argue or you're always going to see things the same way. It doesn't work like that. It's not written that way. It's not very much of a hero's journey. Oh yeah, we don't like that very much, do we? Right? It's like, no, you're individual souls. Yes, we all come from the same source. There's only one of us here, But the challenge is you're helping each other heal. So you coming into balance, and it's not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. That, to me, is abdication of responsibility. That's surrendering your will to somebody else that you will resent them for. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges, and rock and roll, as it should be. You probably challenged this person or they challenged you, but you're better off for it. But honestly, your work is so internal right now that you're also as well coming into your own interior balance so that you can take this leap of faith with the Fool. Right? And when are we ever given all the outcome details when we're asked to jump off the cliff? Open our heart. No one got that. And by the way, if you want to go patriarchal, Jesus didn't know he was going to be crucified. Right? Moses didn't know he wasn't going to make it to the promised land. Right? I mean, I could go in so many different directions with that. Scripturally, I am a mystic, right? I study the lives of the mystics. None of them knew. I mean, when Saint Teresa entered the Avila, the monastery, the nunnery at Avila, she didn't know she was going to have stigmata and visions and levitation. She was a girl, all right? All right, for this artist, artist, Bastet on the inner, King of Pentacles on the outer, spend quality time together, receiving elation. It sounds like a lovely weekend at least. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow, you'll be surprised where it leads. They got to bust a move on this one. You're not in the place to do it. Now, will you receive them? If you can really get that love isn't always about agreeing, that is what creates the creative tension, right? So that something new can be born out of it. State of the contract, engineer, 10 of flames, King of wands. Take a chance on love. Take a chance on liberating love, right? Allow yourself to receive all the fulfillment you're willing to give. Love you. You're both doing your own work. You're both giving yourselves the love that only you can give yourselves, and that's healing each other. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. Absolutely. I think you've both hit milestones in your own personal lives, and you put that together internally at least. Well, internally here, you're ready to jump. Externally here, they're ready to play, but they've got the stability that they did not have before to do that. So there is still some introspection here. And can you take a chance on liberating love in the sense that if my heart feels closed to this, that's okay. Examine what is causing me to feel this way. Usually that's about the past, either the past with this person or the past in general, right? The wounds that we carry. And those, in my experience, can only be healed by giving yourself the love that no one else can give you. Yeah. And that's going to, and it feels like that's happening on both sides here. But also liberating love. Once your heart does feel free and open, it is freeing. You know, I am an archangel. It's a long story. I'll do a video on what that means because it is essentially, the word angel means messenger of light. And look what I'm doing. Light is truth. All right. So we could take it out of that mythological part of it, you know, the thrones, the powers, the dimension. Archangel is just above angel, right? So it's not all the way up in at the very, very tippy top, right? Thrones, powers, dominions, virtues, and the other choirs there. But to really, really get that what's going on here, the messages that are coming through here, it's about finding your wings, symbolically speaking. Have you ever had your heart open so wide that you feel lighter than air? Right? That's what's possible here. A real spiritual thing, because we've got like a mystical archetype and an artist coming together, make practical ways of making this work together. Solutions to common problems, right? So I don't feel like what's standing between you are these impossible predicaments. They're common dilemmas. Let's get you the blessing from the new acquisition. Went up to Saratoga a few weeks ago. Got my shot in the arm. Saturday, it'll be 2 weeks. I can go out in the world again. The mystical Celtic blessing cards to enrich and empower, called Blessed Be by Lucy Cavendish. She's amazing. I got this up at the Magic Moon, Saratoga Springs, Fearless Street, Veronica, and all of y'all. If any of you are watching, I love you. If you drop in Tell them Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Mel for short said hi. They probably won't give you a discount, but they will go, aww. We love Mark. We fucking love them all. Once you know your worth. Now, let's see, what is the blessing? As I call upon my pantheons of gods and goddesses of all traditions, all cultures, even starseed, if we want to go there, please. One card, just one. What is the blessing? That all of the gods and goddesses, regardless of race or culture or age, what age they appeared in, or even extraplanetary if people are into that stuff. Lyrian starseeds forever, please. One card in clarity. What is the blessing you have placed upon this Libra collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, romantic soulmate contract between this exorcist archetype, this artist archetype, with the state of the contract being the engineer archetype. A blessing for healing of injury or illness. Okay, it's healing, great. But what is the injury that's been done? Or the illness in play? 42. Well, there you go. It's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. What was the question? A blessing for healing of injury and illness. A blessing to bring you all that you... I see, I can't read that microscopic italic. A blessing to bring you all that you... Oh, okay, I thought the grammar was weird. A blessing to bring you all that will restore and revive you in your time of need. Now, this is for both of you. Here's the blessing. May the bloom of health blossom upon your pale cheek, and may the strength of the great old trees and beings begin to flow again through your veins. May the cells in your body begin to regenerate and turn over again and again until all that was not well is no longer resident within the holy form your spirit has taken this lifetime. Oh, God, work! May the urge to stand again, to laugh again, to dance, to move and smile into the eyes of strangers be yours. And let the feeling come within the breath, so that within every intake, something of the great green world and the depth of the oceans frees you from ennui and lassitude. May you begin to rise from your bed refreshed and hopeful, and may the muscles of your body grow firm and long with good use. Let your hair shine, as if I had another choice. Your eyes sparkle, and the strong white bones in your body support your movements. The blessing continues. May the nurturing time within the cave of healing have brought to you compassion for those who suffer, a deeper understanding of what it is like to be the outsider for a time, and a new appreciation of the perfection of form you have been born into. And if you are not the same as you were before the time of illness, let that part of yourself go and focus now on the new being you are becoming, and bring this forth through the support of your body. Allow any habits of thought or of body that will not support the return of blessed health, leave now, for they are not yours, and you are here to be seen and to be a part of the world. Let yourself make the very most of the blessing of your health. Be outside amongst the natural world. Breathe deep of mountain air and sing the song of your shining blood out into the valleys and the meadows. You are as natural as the flowers, as strong as the metal beneath the earth, and you will be reborn to yourself. When it comes, be joyful, born of infinite joy, and know this blessing can be worked with and enjoyed for all the days of your life to come. Be well, dear soul, and help others to find their health too, by being an example of that shining energy now and always. Blessed be. Guys, a true soulmate contract here, and look at her. It's funny, it's a woman, but she's wearing the Green Man mask, which I find an interesting juxtaposition of the divine masculine and divine feminine one. But a blessing of healing, of injury or illness. So look, if you two hurt each other before, you've been hurt. I mean, who the hell hasn't, right? Right, what are the 4 ego wounds? Abuse, neglect, codependency, and loss. Who is not carrying at least loss, right? You're helping each other heal. It does feel like you're both doing your own healing work inside, but they're ready to play. I feel like they're going to come towards you. So just remember that oracle piece. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. You don't have to agree on everything. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Let me put this all together for you in another blessing from my pantheons. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of soulmate contract law, and the higher selves of all involved, please may this Libra collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract be blessed with all that it needs. That together they may free themselves and others of destructive impulses, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see and live like life symbolically, as they both have the ability to give creative energy, practical expression, and a talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas, as one of them is getting ready, making the leap of faith somehow within them. Even though they don't see all of it, they're going to follow their intuition, their guidance, and their grace, looking at their past patterns and relationships, maybe even with this person or people similar to them, illuminating the truth, being willing to see clearly no matter the outcome, and understanding that there is a balance here in this contract, that it's not always about agreeing with each other. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. While this artist here, in their playfulness and in their perhaps newfound stability, they are ready to spend some quality time together, receiving their relations, because they are born of infinite joy, as are we all. But that life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When they resist change, they resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress, which it feels like they're over, that they are ready to go with the flow. And they will be surprised as to where it leads, and where it seems to be leading here is in this current state of the contract, these resolutions, this creativity coming from both sides. Shadow work on this side, more practical application on this side, is there is a completion, there is a graduation within them. And if there were burdens, it feels like they're being burned off and laid aside, as this very intense fire energy does have that impulsive Aries energy. Ramming, moving forward, a new start, a new beginning here, and a creative new start, so that they can both take this chance on love. Because when they start to love, their lives are changed forever, and that might have been a fear before on both sides here. So now their love can be liberated, allowing themselves to receive all the fulfillment they're willing to give, rather than just give and not receive, or receive and not give. Because they're looking inside themselves, examining what's causing them to feel this way, because there is a blessing for healing of injury and illness. And whether these injuries are from the past, the childhood, maybe even past lives, or their own wounds here on this side that have kept them from really achieving that stability in their life. So that the healing does take place here, that whatever internal process, whatever burdens, whatever wounds are being healed as they look inside of themselves. And may they be blessed. May they be blessed with all that they need, that they may come together, that through this soulmate contract, all of life is blessed with the health, the wealth, the guidance, the grace, the positive, loving, freeing sexuality, and the romance that we have been yearning for. and breaking through patterns, tribal and ancestral, for thousands of years. And as we do, may all of life be so liberated in their love that this world may fully be the outpicturing of the divinity it was intended to at its creation, for the well-being of all. So motivate. And so it is. Wow, they just opened my crown chakra up there. That was a long-ass blessing. Anyway, if you liked it, like it. Want more? Subscribe, right? Want to book me? Easy enough to find. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. My deets are in the description box below. My book, Words of Grace, $9.99 on Kindle. If you want to check it out, of course, the links are down there as well. And you can try and Gmail me, right? drawingthecircle@gmail.com. But I've been saying, man, the amount of spam I go through in one day, and these spammers who are just going on my website and just posting here, and none of it's from an actual, person wanting a reading. Just easier to reach out to me that way. Otherwise, wishing you all the very, very best and the very, very blessed in, I will say, our happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, my pleasure, my honor, my grace. I'm gonna go stand in air conditioning for a good 10 minutes and then do the Scorpio read. I love you, my leads. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.